either in that helicopter. And so after season one came out, everybody was like, "Where are you going? Where are you going?" We wanted to know too. I, for some reason, well, not just me, a lot of us thought Hawaii because the writer said we would go to Hawaii, and he was, now I know, joking, but I didn't, none of us got his joke, especially because the wrap party was Hawaiian themed. So then we found out we were going to the Arctic, which is nothing like Hawaii, but it's so beautiful in the show. Like it just makes it so epic seeing this vast expanse. It's great.
And Emily, there's a saying in professional sport, go big or go home, bigger, badder, bolder, dare I say. And if you stop to admire yourself and the contenders, it's like a Formula One car. If you stop and take a pit stop, the other cars are going to fly by you. And I suppose that's very true when you're doing a new season after a successful first season. You have to go bolder, dare I say.
Oh, yeah. There is so much TV now that you not only, have to be great, you have to be seen. People have to know you're out there. And then when people's attention span, if you're not bigger, bolder, and exciting in the first episode, you're done. There's other stuff to watch. And I think they did a really, really amazing job with this. Me, Ian, and Martin got to see it on the big screen in Scotland for our premiere. And, as actors who are in it, we're always looking, when something's vis effects or CGI, we're looking for, does it look real? Where are the mistakes? And I felt cold watching it. It was amazing.
You mentioned you felt cold watching it. I imagine you felt cold doing some of the stunts as well, dare I say. And particularly with the people who know the environment there, there's a certain limited hours of daylight in terms of sort of shooting, in terms of that, and in terms of where temperatures maybe are appropriate to get filming done with lenses and all that sort of stuff as well. So when you were sort of shooting this, was there a particular season where you had to sort of shoot given the weather, given the climate conditions and certain hours that you had to sort of get it most of the heavy lifting done there, I say?
Well, this is amazing because we shot in a studio.
Okay.
So all that Arctic is done digitally, and which is why we all think they did an amazing job because we were in Scotland shooting, and we also had, we have the big jackets and you have to act cold, but it was not cold. If anything, when you're in those jackets inside, it's very hot. So yeah, it was there's this new technology though that's really great where you have this iPad, and I mean, I'm sure they call it something more than an iPad, but it looks like an iPad to me. And you look through it and you can see what it's going to look like when all the visual effects are done. So
Okay.
that was nice to be able to see what you're looking at for real.
So an
But
advancement of green screen, the next sort of stage, dare I say, where you don't
yeah,
have to sort of picture it in your head and bring that mind vision, what's in here, out here. You now get to
yeah,
see a
and
visual effect.
yeah, and it's really great because you know what your reaction can be, especially to things that are happening vis effects wise. If usually, you'll do that without knowing, and then it could be way bigger than you thought it was, and you're acting like, oh, so it's great.
And tell me, I suppose, to have an all-star pro heading up the show, they say the success of a good show is never as good as its anchor, and definitely the anchor holding everything together. And this is Iain Glen, who plays Magnus Macmillan, and dare I say, a strive to consistency. He feels like watching him and seeing him. He feels like he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders.
He is amazing. I love our whole cast so much, but Ian and Martin are my guys, and they do have Ian especially, he can definitely carry the weight of the world on his shoulders. He's such it's funny because he's can be so, on screen such a big presence, and he's like the sweetest guy. So yeah, But he's an amazing actor, and I'm so lucky I get to work with these people.
Yeah. And it's an intriguing concept because you're unique as well. You have a sort of a niche sort of market. You're dealing with oil rigs out at sea, oil rigs out in locations. And I know there's a prominent show with Billy Bob Thornton hiding it up called The Landman, but that's more in terms of Central America, inland oil, but you're offshore, off coast sort of things as well.
Mhm.
So you're sort of unique to what you're doing. You have a niche sort of a market in terms of that. Does that add to the appeal that there's probably nothing really similar directly in terms of competition to what you offer?
Yeah, I mean, being from Canada and the US, I didn't know what a rig was when somebody just said the rig. But in the UK, it's such a big industry, and but I what I realized was it once you get a group of people in a small environment, it could be anywhere because all these alliances happen and it creates this microcosm society. And what I love is that it's so unique and yet universal because you'll understand, you don't need to have worked on a rig to understand, being betrayed or being afraid the world is ending. We all know what that's like.
And Emily, dare I say, we tossed and twirled during the first season, wondering supernatural forces at play. And this time, and maybe in season two, we get a sort of sense that it's corporations that are more the sort of the target and the sort of the antagonist.
Yeah, I think season one was definitely like the sins of the past, and season one is looking towards the future and what we can do to fix things. And so it's both, the corporation, there is a conspiracy going on, as well as there's this line in season one where a character says, if you keep punching the earth, eventually it's going to punch back. And that's what we're seeing happen in season two. So it's a lot of drama and there's also getting to the core of this mystery that is really exciting this season.
And Emily, looking on at season one, it almost felt like your group of characters, your cast, you were pawns, dare I say, in a fishbowl. Dare I say, have you sort of elevated from that sort of status now in terms of rig workers? Are you more aligned in terms of season two, or do you still feel that you're pawns in someone else's bigger game?
Well, that's really interesting that you say that because it's true. In season one, we were very like trapped together in this small space, and season two is much more being lost in an expanse. And at least for my character in season one, she was much more with on side with the company, towing the company line. Everything was about success. And oh, sorry, there's a fire alarm here. I don't know if you can hear that, but hopefully
No.
it'll go away. Okay. So in season two, she's really learned to be a leader and she is part of this crew. And I think it's a really great journey for Rose to kind of lead. Oh, I can't believe you can't hear this. It's so loud.
Guys,
But
guys.
uh, okay. Oh, it stopped. Thank God. Yeah. So I forgot what I was saying.
So, Emily, in terms of no problem in the world, the rig, where can you take this? Do you think the concept, the writers, the producers? So you've gone from Scotland to the Arctic, but maybe sunnier shores, maybe in the Middle East. Maybe next we all know about Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, could be an Arab sort of twist to it. Is there
Maybe
development
Ireland.
possibilities where you can sort of take this in the market, but you said that this is very much an important season for the show.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just I really think the writers went like David McPherson, who created this show. We were all wondering how it could be better than the first season because the first season was like number one around the world and it was so great. Um, he managed to make something even better, and we all like are so excited about it.